All right, folks, we got a huge show. We got three mega guests. We got Kevin, Joe, and Nick. They are the Jonas Brothers. They've got a
Yeah.
new single out, X. We got, I think, 7 people that are kind of figures on this show. We're doing a Zoom call, so it's going to be interesting. But, gentlemen, thanks for joining the show. We're pumped to have you guys.
Oh, we're so excited to be here. Thank you, guys.
There's nothing we love more than talking about golf, so it should be fun.
Good. Well, that's like we said, that's what we do in a kind of a clownish manner all the time. So you guys are probably going to get along pretty well with us. Let's start though. New single, I believe Friday was released. New music video that just came out. Talk a little bit about the single, the new song.
This new song is, it's a good time. Us and Carol G teamed up with her, and it's got a kind of a Latin flair to it, but it's called X, and it's basically the whole concept is basically saying, kiss me like your ex is in the room. So it's sort of having a better time with the new love and trying to make the old one a little jealous. And overall, we just felt like it was the right time, given all the things that are happening in the world, to try to make people smile a little bit, bring them some happiness, even if it is in their homes, by listening to the song. And the reaction's been crazy. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's I mean, you guys did it again. It's another banger. So if people haven't checked it out,
Thank you.
Get in there, check it out. So I wanted to ask, we talked about it a little bit pre-show, but I mean, you guys got a lot going on. You're the Jonas Brothers. We're just 3 clowns who talk golf. I want to talk a little bit about like how this happened. Kevin, you've got the new app, Caribou. Joe, you've got the new show, Cup of Joe. Nick, you got the finale of The Voice. It's actually tonight, Tuesday, when we're recording. You've got the new single. So you guys got a ton going on. How did you end up on this show talking golf about
You're coming on tour with us. You're our new hype man. Yeah, we got a bunch of fun things that we're doing, and I think why it's fun to talk to you guys, because our lives, we get to travel the world for a living, and it's one of the best jobs we could wish for. But in our off time, and the way we really like to bond as brothers and as bandmates is just trying to do something for ourselves, and that's going to play golf. And right. So usually it can start competitive, and then a few drinks, a few Coors Lights, and the next thing you know, it's pretty sloppy, but we're having a blast. And so I think it only makes sense that we're able to hop on the phone and Skype and Zoom and talk and enjoy this wonderful life that we get to live and play and hang out.
So talk about this tour life. I mean, are you guys trying to play golf every day? Are you like, how do you get out on courses? I mean, you guys are mega famous. How do you just go out and play around a golf?
We love playing golf so much, and we're so obnoxious about our obsession about it that we literally talk to our team. We're like, can we please build in like hub cities that we'll fly in and out of for the shows, where we know there's great courses in those cities. So on this last tour, it was like 90 something cities, and we started in Florida and made our way up the East Coast and then back out west, and then started back again. And we legitimately like scheduled our days around when we were playing golf, what courses we were playing. And on this last tour, we hit some really great spots, places that I hadn't played yet, which I was really pumped about.
Yeah, it's an escape too, right? For like, you guys have this long tour, you're hitting 90 cities, and like golf, especially for us, like guys who work 9-to-5 jobs, or anyone sitting in a cube, like that's your thing that you want to go out and do. You picture that green grass, you picture the nature sounds, and with your buddies and drinking beers and chirping and getting into the banter. And for you guys, it must be even more of a release of just, like the stress and of a tour, especially like in the middle of all those shows and stuff, getting out there. And I mean, that's awesome that we all can share that similarity.
Completely. It's totally that same thing, because when we're at the venue, pretty much all we see is the inside of a dressing room, right? All, for the most part of the afternoon to the show that night. So getting to be able to spend time, I kind of think that's really how we as brothers as well, when we the band broke up and other things, it's kind of the one place we really all reconnected on was the golf course, which was really cool. So we spent as much time as we could playing as well as we could. Nick is probably the most put together golfer out of all of us.
Yeah, that was going to be one of our next questions. Who's the best? Nick, who's the worst? Is there some disagreement there?
And listen, like you guys say, and this is why I like listening to your podcast, is like this. There's no like golf hierarchy, right? It's just like we all love the game. We can like talk shit about it and just like whatever. I will say I don't cheat, whereas Kevin cheats. So
Here we go.
potentially
Yeah.
I'm better. And Joe has like
I
this
don't have.
natural
I have no idea what he's
swing.
talking about.
Cheat
I
like
like
OJ, where you found your ball teed up in the woods? Is it that bad, or what's the level of cheat over there?
There's times where like, it's like, oh, it's in the rough, and it's like I saw you hit your tee shot, and it's clearly in the bunker. It's like, no, it's in the rough, and you're like, you moved it. I saw you.
But we're there to have fun. We're not there to,
But
someone actually gave me the best advice about golf that I've ever got, which was, you're not good enough to be this mad. And so when he gave me that advice, I was like, you know what? None of it matters. Yes, I'm going to take my ball out of the bunker and put it back onto the green. Like, I don't care.
That's so true. It's
it.
like, who are we to say, like, we should have hit that ball 285 right down the middle, and like we aren't supposed to be in the woods here. It's like, I just suck at golf, right? Like, I'm supposed to be here. Stop getting mad at yourself. I like that.
Exactly.
I'm gonna start taking that with me.
It's a good. Once I did that, then I had no more issues about cheating. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. It's totally fine.
You didn't have issues with cheating.
Yeah.
Look at that
exactly.
background.
Nick still had the
Joe's
issue.
at Augusta all of a sudden.
We're pretty devastated.
There in spirit.
We
Yeah.
so the last couple of years, every either Saturday and Sunday, since 2016 Masters, I've gone, and then Joe joined me for 2017 on.
Best.
And it's sort of like, a lot of people talk about like Coachella, right? And like that's like the weekend they look forward to. Obviously, for golf fans and lovers, like the Masters is like our Coachella in a way. And obviously what's happening in the world is horrible, and it's unfortunate to see all that's going on. But I think our biggest bummer as far as canceled or postponed events was obviously the Masters. And we literally have a text group called Master Support Group.
Not alone then.
I made a mistake my first year of the Masters, which I think people don't. This is a little secret if listeners out there have yet to go, or if they're planning on going in the future. The gift shop can be a big mistake if you don't go day one.
Mm-hmm.
Screwed. Like I went, I think like even on the second or third day, I went like middle of the day. I was like, you know what? All right, it seems like a good time to go. You go over, just nothing's there. You might be lucky with a coaster, but that's about it. If you're gonna try to get
at the store, the merchandise goes fast.
Oh yeah.
So do the drinks. A lot of drinks. Anyway.
So you guys mentioned, have a couple beers out there. I got a buddy who he literally won't play golf with me unless we have like a 24 pack and we do shotgun birdies. Like how, what are your guys' rounds? What do they start like? Do they always end the same way? Is somebody have to drink when they play? What's it like out there?
The tour kind of led to just a consistent intake of alcohol, but it was kind of, when we were in Scottsdale, they have these insane Bloody Marys. So kind of start with that, then mix in a protein shake, because we, get up and go right away. And then by probably hole 4-3, it's beer 30.
It's basically on the par 3 that you expected to play really well because you dreamt about it the night before, and then you get there and you hit like a 6 or 7. That's when you start really getting after it. But we adopted, actually on my bachelor party, we played golf with all our buddies, and we did this game which my friend taught me, and I actually played in his tournament called the Drunken Invitational. It was a par 3 tournament. Well, basically, you and your teammate have to drink, a certain number of beers to get strokes taken off your score. Pretty simple. And you can't drink more beers than you have holes in front of you, because obviously we want to be responsible, guys. It's very important.
Completely.
Above all else.
I'll just say, best round I've ever had. Best round ever played.
Just free thinking, not thinking about a thing.
Yeah, because any bad stroke, I would just punish myself by drinking a cold, refreshing Coors Light, and it was always good.
Yeah, I have like a buddy's golf trip, and we implemented shotgun mulligans. So it was like, you hit a shit shot, you do a shotgun, and you're back. You're just back.
You know what?
Back.
That's a fantastic rule that we're definitely going to add into the mix here.
And with Kevin's cheating, he's going to definitely win.
I'm going to be unable to play the show later.
But we learned the same thing. You got to limit it. You got to add regulations, or people will be by back down. You got to be smart.
There has to be structure,
Right.
There has to be structure around the golf and the drinking.
That's a huge
Otherwise,
balance.
what are we doing?
Right.
So Nick and Kevin, while you guys were in Miami, I think it was like last November, a story emerged about bullets whizzing by or something while you guys were playing golf. What happened with that?
Yeah, honestly, I don't know like what we're supposed to say about this. We've never been asked about it, which I was kind of blown away by. No pun intended.
Well, we were in Florida.
Yeah, and basically we're on the back nine, 17th green of this course, and it's me, Kevin, our drummer Jack, who's one of our great friends, and Jordan McGraw, who's our buddy, was the opening act on the tour, and we all hit decent tee shots on this par 3, and it's sort of like an island, right? The green's like in an island. We hit decent shots, and Jordan's is like close to the water, but it's still kind of on the rough or whatever. And we start walking over, and we hear, and we know what that sound is. I mean, we all like stop in our tracks, like, what the fuck? So we take off running, and we find somehow this big tree, and we hide behind it. And I guess there was an investigation that went down. I never really got to the bottom of what went down, and there was talk that maybe it was a kid firing a pellet gun at like birds, but there weren't any birds around. So all to say, I'm glad we were safe and it was all okay. I was kind of bummed we didn't get to finish our round, honestly.
Yeah.
Yep. You're right there, 17.
But it was a crazy little turn of events,
I don't know if a pellet gun makes that like.
It was not
that, and when you can actually feel it, you know what I mean? That's
right.
when we were like, we all stopped in our tracks, so it was a very different thing. But
and listen, you can never be too careful too. It's like we just heard it, and we're like, even if it was a pellet gun, who knows? Like, just we're getting out of the way, we're clearing,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Who have you guys played with before that you were like legitimately nervous to play with?
I played with Jordan Spieth twice.
Just him, no big deal.
I don't know if you've heard of him, but he's really good at golf.
And that was in a pro-am, right, Nick?
Yeah, that was at the Sony Pro-am. It was pretty cool. I mean, it was interesting. He super chill the whole round, really, really nice guy. We're kind of from a similar area in Texas. We've got Texas roots and New Jersey roots, and from a similar area there. So we bonded on that. And then, at a certain point, he was just like, all right, guys, we're about 5-6 strokes back. He said, you want me to turn up the heat? We're like, yes, please, Mr. Spieth. And then he just started actually playing, and it was awesome. As far as other people I've been nervous to play with, I played with Aaron Rodgers a couple times. He became a buddy of mine after that, and Joe's. And we were in a group with Wayne Gretzky, which was pretty awesome. And, I figured out this really interesting golf rule, which Gretzky introduced me to. It's called when you Gretzky a putt. So basically, like, if he left something within like a club length of the hole, it was like, just pick it up to Gretzky. So safe to say he takes it's very generous.
Okay.
What's your
Kevin?
We'll allow it.
What's your comfort level playing in front of crowds? Does that make you? I mean, you guys are megastars, so that may not make.
No, it's horrifying.
What was a different thing?
Yeah, I did like a pro-am in Texas and Dallas, and I got up to the tee, first one. There's like the huge board right there with all the leaderboard right on the left, and just cranked the driver and straight into the leaderboard. Half the numbers fell off. Like, and I'm just like, all right, this is how the day is going. All right.
Yeah.
But I got that one under, once you get that out of your way, it's
right.
Like, it can't get it. Like, it doesn't matter now. Right. So it was still fun, but it was just like, oh man, it's a different nervousness that first shot in golf if there's people around.
I was so nervous one time. I was playing in this Ryder Cup Pro-Am matchup thing they were doing a couple years ago. And my teammate was Michael Phelps, which was awesome and super nice guy and really good athlete, obviously. So he's naturally a pretty good golfer. And so we're like the third or fourth pairing to go. And, we're at the driving range, and I'm so in my head, so nervous about what we're about to do and letting like the USA down, as our representation with like one of our most decorated gold medalists ever. And I think the most decorated gold medalist. And I start hitting my pitching wedge to try and warm up, to like work my way up to my driver. and something happens. I get so in my head that literally cannot hit the ball. Like it's every shot's a shank and everything. And he saw it and he comes over and he's like, listen, buddy. He's like, you need to calm down. He's like, take a deep breath. And I was like, even more embarrassed at this.
Did he stand? Did he stand over you and talk to you like this though?
But his words of advice helped, and we got up and we actually didn't win our matchup, but we helped the team win. So that's what matters.
Yeah. That's if you if you want to do any more name dropping, Nick, go for it. We got Spieth, we got Gretzky, we
got Joe and I played with
Cody Bellinger recently.
Bus.
Yeah. Played with the bus as well. But Cody, I think we actually burn a hole in our golf cart from cigars. I've got a good photo of Cody Bellinger holding a fire hydrant next to the golf cart because there's just a
fire hydrant.
Wow.
I love the back and forth between you guys, and obviously, like, one of my favorite things on the golf course is shit talking and trying to get into someone's head. And like when you're in a match and you're coming down the 15th, 16th, 17th, it's just mental warfare, right? Like, what can you do to get under this guy's skin? And you guys being brothers, like, do you guys all know what ticks each other off? And if so, like, what is that thing that, or do you not want to give it away? Maybe it's in your back pocket. Like, did you say something on the tee to Nick or Kevin and be like, I know this guy's putting this one in the woods if I say this, or
any noise at all while Nick's like taking his swing, like for some reason.
No.
First nine,
that's different though. Joe just likes to blast music immediately when Nick starts to swing. Like he has his Bluetooth speaker with us every time, and it's completely intentional. There's no way around it. I usually ride with Nick because like it's just because Nick the music is just not happening. So Joe's going, and then he'll just pull up on the golf cart and just crank it right as Nick's like walking to the hole, and you can just see Nick just like, this is my personal hell. But it's without fail every time.
I mean,
do you guys like bicker?
Oh, do we? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nick and Kevin, they cannot share a golf cart. Like it's just it's an unspoken rule that they're just, if they have to share a golf cart, it's just gonna be bad for everyone. No one's gonna enjoy themselves. It's gonna be bad news. Nick's gonna be mad at Kevin because he's gonna think he's cheating, and Kevin's gonna be mad at Nick because Nick will give Kevin like advice that he didn't ask for about his swing. So
oh boy, amazing! You guys make it through 18 holes with all this going on.
Typically, someone's ends up just eating a very long lunch after 9.
I'm gonna bow out. You guys finish up, but I'll stay right here. I'm gonna go have a couple nice beers and relax.
Yeah. My brother's like my best golf buddy. And growing up one time, I remember I made a birdie on some hole, which never happens, to have the hole to win the hole. And he took my ball out of the hole and threw it into the water. And I just threw an absolute fit, but it rattled my cage and I lost the match, obviously. So brothers, I mean, we've won matches together, and then we also just know how to rattle the other guy.
Yeah. But if you have to rally around each other for something, that's the cool part. Like when someone's having like the game, like, and they're like in the zone, it's interesting how everyone like really slows down and like, okay, what can we do to support our friend right now? Because we want them to have this moment, like
the team watching the pitcher throw a perfect game. Like,
it's just like no one walks to Joe actually turns off his music. Like it's a whole thing,
So
I just play the final countdown.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you guys consume a lot of golf? Do you watch a lot of pro golf? I know we mentioned the Masters, but are you guys pretty in tune? Do you have some of your favorite guys?
Yeah, I mean, obviously a huge Tiger fan. Growing up watching golf, I mean, it's just like that's kind of the hero. It's the guy, and to have been there last year to watch him sort of return and win was so spectacular. It was honestly, because there was the whole thing with like the rain delay, and then we had to get there early, and so it was like my routine a little bit was off, and I was like, okay, I've got to. Maybe a little hungover as well, and then to see that happen was so special. And then because I also watched him play now, like and spend some time with. I think Jordan is just an amazing guy and an amazing golfer. And then I love Lefty. I gotta say, I love like the spirit, the Cavs, obviously.
Yep.
Huge Cavs. And then now Brooks, I'm really like enjoying watching his swing. I'd like to pretend and believe that maybe we have like a similar like approach to the game. But I'm nowhere even near that universe. But I just, if I could model my swing, I guess I would say after anybody right now, it would be Koepka.
When you play with Spieth, I mean, we've been behind Spieth, in practice rounds with him at tournaments, and he's always muttering, he's talking, he's with Greller and they're going Cam McCormick, and they're always talking swing and this, and does he do that the whole round when you play with him? Is he just like talking to his ball, talking to his coach, talking to you? Is he like chirping you about your game? Like, what is he like inside the ropes?
He's super relaxed. We played, our group was with some of like the bosses at Sony, so it would have been kind of inappropriate for them to win, I guess, because it's their tournament. It kind of been like an asshole move a little bit. So he understood that and had to like keep like a little distance on the leaderboard. But then occasionally he would do something, and obviously he's like the finesse kind of master. And there would be moments where just watching subtle adjustments, things he did, and just thinking to yourself or myself, I was like, I will never in my entire life, if I commit every single hour of every day to golf, be that good. And it's really humbling and, pretty incredible.
So we've got, actually, this just was kind of made official yesterday, but we've got a big match against Kevin Kisner coming up, 36th ranked player in the world.
Yeah. You have what, 10,000 on the line for that now?
So yeah, he threw 10 grand of his own money in and said he'll write that check for charity. Our fans got to match it. I think we're up already to 30 or 40 grand.
Wow,
we're playing as a 4-man scramble against Kiz. I think we're going to win. The internet does not. But if we were to play,
how many strokes is he giving you guys? Is he giving you 4 per, or is it
straight up? We just get to play as a
Wow.
4-man scramble.
Pinehurst number 2, 7,600 yards
from the tips.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
You're gonna.
What kind of equipment you guys working with? I want to get some juiced up.
Kevin cheat codes or something.
When
like
that's
that
the first question, that's not a good sign for us. What a cool equipment you got.
For what I need, they haven't invented yet. So in that aspect, like we're not there yet.
Best of luck to you guys. I'm not saying that I don't believe you can win, because anything can happen. We've all seen The Greatest Game Ever Played, obviously.
My favorite movie.
That's Frankie's favorite movie.
One of mine as well.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I can't believe we've gotten this far and haven't talked about Frankie's facial hair. I don't know if you guys want to comment on that at all, but he's been trying this new thing, and I think it's going okay, but I don't know.
I like it. I didn't know you guys were also in Nickelback. I thought that was pretty cool.
We love Nickelback on this podcast, I will say.
One of our coworkers actually messaged me and was like, "Hey Frankie, I don't know if you know, but this is the Jonas Brothers, so you should probably shave that mustache because you look, number one, creepy and unapproachable. So we don't really feel like making them feel uncomfortable on this podcast." But I rolled with it. I'm going for that.
Cool. It does look good.
I look like a pirate, right? I don't know.
I see it.
You look a little Jack Sparrowy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's getting there.
So if we played the Jonas Brothers,
I just have to ask a question though before you. So when the 12-year-old did beat you, was it hard for your game, or was it like humbling? Was it just fine?
So
did you?
Kevin, that's a good question. I will say, I can't tweet anything now. I can't tweet anything without everyone just being like, "Yeah, but you lost to a 12-year-old." So it's a little humbling.
I'm sure Tiger would have beat you at 7, so it's fine.
Thank you. So no one on earth is rooting harder for 12-year-old Pete to become the best golfer of all time than I am.
Might be the confidence boost he needed. It was nice of you to let him win that one.
Yeah. It was weird showing up like you're the bad guy and you're trying to take down and get serious about taking down a 12-year-old on the golf course. And
well, if he becomes the next greatest golfer, then you should take all the credit.
Yep.
Riggs can retweet it 30 years later and say, "It's okay.
I did this."
Now.
Yes.
You'll be on the green you'll be on the green giving him the jacket,
Well, I mean, now it feels like people are firing shots, and we might have to do a 4-play versus the Jonas Brothers 3-man scramble and see what happens.
We're in.
I'm down. Anytime, anywhere.
Who do we think wins that scramble? Best ball out of the 3 or 4? If you guys grab a 4,
I think to make it even, we should get to draft somebody on our end.
Fine.
Well, to make it even,
like not a professional, but
how about,
Yeah.
well, how about
Who
if
do
we
you
can
have
we
in
get as long as they're drunk, can we get a professional golfer?
How good or bad are you guys?
Or how drunk can they get?
Yeah, that's a good question. What are the handicaps around them?
I think I know who we'd have to draft, Joe, because you were there for this. This is a golf story that has to be told, and it never has been. But Joe and I were on this same trip where we played with Cody. Our buddy Shay Mooney of Dan and Shay was with us.
Yes.
And it was right before the Grammy Awards this last year.
Forgot about it.
And basically, there's this one green that's like nearly impossible to hit, and that's kind of the fun of it. It's par 3, and it's just like a tabletop, right? And it's sort of like sloped like this. And the bet was, against Shay, who he and his bandmate Dan were both nominated that year, and we were nominated. Is that if one of us, me or Joe, hits the green, you have to thank Joe or I in your Grammy Awards speech, and then vice versa for them. If he hit it, we would have to do it if we won. So cut to Grammy night. After Joe has hit the green successfully, Shay gets up and in his Grammy Awards acceptance speech says, I have to thank Joe Jonas.
The rule was
Joseph Jonas. First and foremost, Joseph
So before,
Jonas.
The first person he thanks.
Oh man.
His wife was not happy about
anybody
that.
that actually had anything to do with his music or his career, it's just like first and
So I
foremost,
think-
thank Joe Jonas, and everyone's like, did he write on this album?
So I think we'd have to first and fourmost have Shay Mooney as our fourth,
I like
Yes.
because
That would be great.
now it's just the payback.
It's funny too, because he's actually going to come on the show. I was talking to him recently, and he's like, "I'm a huge golfer. Would love to come on the show." So that's definitely your fourth. I mean, we're all in.
Definitely.
Done.
Ask him about the story.
I can't wait to hear his side of it when he comes on in a couple of weeks. I cannot wait.
I just don't know if I was curious if he told his bandmate before walking out there that, by the way, I kind of have to do this bet. Like, so he's looking at him like, what is going on?
And he's like, this is our moment. What are you talking about?
Joe Jonas came before God in that speech, which is like probably the first time ever.
Nothing more sacred than golf and beers, right?
No, I love that.
Well, I think we've got ourselves a match. I mean, I think if I'm allowed to talk after Kevin buried me, I think we have ourselves a match.
What's the wager then? Like, we should make it. Should be something that would be, kind of embarrassing to a degree for either party.
Yeah, it should be if one of us, wins a Grammy, then it should be something about the speech.
Got it. So,
what could the wager be?
Oh man,
we got time.
We should ask the fans. We should ask the listeners.
Okay, let's ask the fans.
Okay.
Yeah.
What they think, what the wager should be for each party here.
People get creative, but we've got it. We've got ourselves another match. Hopefully, we're coming off a huge win against Kiz. Have you guys been playing at all?
Not during this.
No. Sadly, no.
I've got a net in my backyard I've been hitting into, but other than that, that's about it.
I've been doing the thing where I just walk around the house like working out a kink in my swing that obviously I don't know what I'm doing, right? So my wife just like from the corner of the room will look at me and just shake her head, just so disappointed. Just, but you got to work out
on
the
his
kinks.
action again.
Yeah, get those hips involved.
Yep. All right, fellas. Well, look, we'll leave it up to the fans. We'll try to come up with a good, fair wager. Something embarrassing seems to be the theme. And you guys should be working on your games. I will be working on our games. You're going to be able to see how we do in a 4-man scramble. So you're going to have a pretty good scouting report on Tuesday.
True. That's super helpful.
Yeah. But again, you guys got the new single X. You got the new music video. You're very, very busy. You got apps. You got new shows. The Voice is tonight. When this comes out on Thursday, people can go back, rewatch it, check out all your stuff. But they're the Jonas Brothers. You know who they are. And we're going to take them down in a golf match, which is very exciting.
Very exciting. Guys, thanks for having us. This is super fun.
Yeah, seriously. Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks
for coming, boys.
Awesome.
Stay safe. We appreciate it.
See you on the course.
Yep.
Look forward to it. That'll be great.
All right.
See you guys.